Okay, this is your continuous advancement appliance. Your bottom tray is always 0, even though it doesn't say it on here, but this is your 0. The top is what advances, and you can see here that there is a arrow that tells you which way to advance. So on the left side, the arrow is pointing down, and on the right side, the arrow is pointing up. This is the key that it comes with to advance the appliance. So when you first get the appliance, it does come with 10 turns on it, which is your 0, and that does give you the ability to go backwards if you have issues. So it's nice to be able to have that 10 turns on it, but that is your 0. So what you're going to do is you're actually turning this little barrel right here. So what you're going to do is take your key and you're going to go into, and you're not going to go all the way in. See how I can kind of go? If you do that, you're not going to be able to turn it. So you just want to get it in just enough. Go all the way up, follow the arrow, and then pull out. Kind of go from the bottom so you can get into the little hole. Up. I can't see. There we go. 2. 3. 4. 5. 5 turns is a 1/2 millimeter, 10 turns is 1 millimeter, and 1 turn is a 1/10 of a millimeter. So make sure whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. Now some people, since they're going up to advance, some people just like that to go up. You can always do that and just flip it upside down if you want to. And then you just always make sure you're following the arrow. However you follow the arrow is advancing. So even though you have it on this side, you can, whatever you're following the arrow is advancing. So like I said, some people, they like to go up when they do advance because they feel like going up is advancing. When you're on the other side, just flip it. And your arrow is now up. And you slide the little key into the hole. Don't go all the way in, just enough to pull it up and out. Now, this will allow you to go 5 millimeters, so it's a total of 60 turns. Like I said, it already comes with 10. So when you get to 60 turns, that's actually 5 millimeters. If you need to go further than that, what they do is they switch out this bottom tray. It's a L0. They give you what they call an L5 tray. So this will have 5 millimeters on it. And then what we do is we take this one back to all the way to no turns, not 10 turns, to 0 turns on it. And then that will give you an extra 6 millimeters of movement. And that's how this one works.
So you can see that it's always the middle screw that you're turning, and as the jack screw gets wider, the hole always stays on the right side against that piece of plastic. It does, that hole in the barrel that moves is always to that right side, even though the gap starts getting wider and wider and wider. It's always to that right side, or if it's on the, so this one's on the left side of the appliance. If you switch it over to the other side of the appliance, it's again back to that left back side of the appliance. So it's always closest to that back plastic bumper, or that back part of the plastic, if you're trying to find that hole. Sometimes, again, a magnifying glass will help, but you also have to make sure that you're following the arrows, like Sandy said.
Mm-hmm.
So we also, though, instead of having, this is considered the CA or the continuous advancement, now ProSomnus has come up with one that actually is called a low profile continuous advancement, and it is a lot smaller, and so it's less bulky. Now the capability of this one is only 3 millimeters, and so it has only 30 turns that can go on the top, and then we would change out a lower appliance with the post to an L4, and then if you need to go even further, then another one would be like, I think, at an L7. But so it's very similar, the same thing. You have a little hole and you advance it forward. You can't put it in all the way through, but you just turn it and the arrow shows you which side or which way you advance it forward. And then to look at the other side, and
It says down, but if you like to go up, just flip it.
Flip it
Always
over.
follow
Yep.
the arrow.